Hi. Hi, everyone. This is Shu Allegra, founder of Grace and Hope Consulting. And for this month, we are talking all about relationship and emotional wellness. Like, what is the connection between our relationship or an emotional wellness? How do our relationships, impact our emotional wellness, in the positive and negative way? And what we can do about, achieving emotional wellness through our relationships. So today I have my friend here, Liz, and I'll let Liz introduce herself.
Hello, how are you today?
I am good. Thanks for
So,
being here.
yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome. Um, yeah, I'm Liz Tees, and I own Liz Tees Coaching. Um, I'm a life coach, a certified life coach, and I help. My passion is to help with self-love.
Mm,
So I think that self-love is needed in very much in our world here. So self-love, self-care, self-development. Um, so that's pretty much what I do in my coaching. I'm married. My husband and I have been together for 21 or 22 years, I think, married, but
awesome.
we were married for 13. Yeah, we were married for 13 years, and then we actually got divorced, and then we got back together and got remarried. So
Wow.
we have quite a story.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh,
Um, yeah. And we also own a catering and banquet facility together.
hmm
And we've been in that industry for 35 years. So we have dealt with lots of weddings and events and fundraisers and corporate events and things like that. So um, I have talked to lots and lots of people and families, family dynamics,
hmm
and relationships, trying to start a marriage together and things like that. So a lot of experience with relationships and people in general.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. And I just, I love your story already, that because often when people think about, divorce, like it's the end, we're done. And then, there's still hope. And and I'm sure that we'll touch on that a little bit as we
Yeah.
talk. The other thing that I also like about, you and your background, it's that you have experience in all areas of relationship. It's not just like your personal relationship, your personal experience with, marriage, divorce, and remarriage with the same husband, which is awesome. Love that. And but also like just working with people in general, like as working with your catering, in the catering business, you deal with employees and contractors, and then you deal with clients. So you are like at every branch, if you want, of
Right.
relationships, and helping people, like you said, work on their own, self-development and self-love, all that, inner strength, if you want, all of that, takes building this relationship. So I just love that you have experience in all this
Right.
relationship, because sometimes when people hear, anyone,
Hmm.
not just me, but anyone say, oh, we're talking about relationship, they always think about only romantic relationship, but we're talking about all relationships here. And I like
Right.
how, your story, your experience, your work touches like every level of relationships. So thank you so for sharing that. So
Oh boy, does it.
yes, yes. Um, so with everything you do, with all the people work that you do, working with people at different levels, um, how do you
Hmm.
think, like, I guess, how do you think relationships impact our emotional wellness, impact our emotions in general?
I mean, it's crazy how they impact your emotions. I mean, our emotions are triggered a lot of times from other people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could be having a great day going along, da 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 da, and then all of a sudden, somebody comes in your energy field. Could be, um, somebody you're talking to on the phone, could be talking to in person, and they may not be having a great day, and they just put that energy on you, and all of a sudden, your emotions are totally different. You can switch like that in, quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to have that foundation of your own self,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can, um, still be, what do I want to say? Like, still be there for that other person, if you need to be, but also being able to know yourself enough that you can walk away, you can excuse yourself, you can get yourself out of the situation. You don't have to go down that rabbit hole like a
Mm.
lot of us do. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
just you know what I mean, like taking each other's energy. It's so
Mm-hmm.
easy to do,
Yes.
and reacting, and so
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I mean, you're
I think
so
it
right.
I it yeah, go ahead.
No, I think I was just going to echo what you're saying. I'm just here nodding because I agree with everything you're saying, how it's so easy for all of us to get sucked into somebody else's emotion, and then it impacts our emotional wellness instead of being grounded and kind of creating that foundation, like you said, about who we are, what we stand for, what's important to us, so that no matter what relationship we're in, if it's at work, at home, in the community, for spouses, then we know how to stay grounded even when they're having a bad day, right? Because we don't have to feed up everybody's energy and,
Absolutely.
and bring yourself down. Yeah, I like that.
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, but that takes a lot of work, personal work,
Hmm.
because we're so used to reacting. And so it takes a lot of energy in yourself to actually get yourself out of it, and actually think about it, like, okay, I don't have to go down there. I can, still be where I'm at, or I can feel comfortable where I'm at, and it's okay, you know.
Hmm.
So, but it does take a lot of self-love and personal development to do that. But everyone can do it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it takes work, and I like how you say that everyone can do it. Often people get into relationship wanting the other person to complete them, or wanting the other person to make them happier and better. But if you say it starts with myself, it starts with me, it
Right.
starts like I need to take, we each one of us have to work on ourselves, and but it's doable. It's hard work, but it's work that pays off, right? Because once you know who you are and you
Eh,
love yourself, that it doesn't matter who comes and goes in your life, you know? So yeah,
right. Right.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, some of us have been brought up, maybe thinking that we're selfish if we're taking care of ourselves,
Mm,
and that we should always be taking care of other people, which we should. I mean, we always should be caring for other people, and
mm-hmm.
helping other people, and I think that's obviously one of the reasons that we're here on this earth.
Right.
But it's so important to take care of yourself first, and if everyone did that, then we would all be taking care of each other anyway.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. I can.
Hmm.
Even think of the analogy when when you're in the airplane. Put your mask on first and then put it on the next person next to you. Even if it's your child, because what happens is if you suffocate or you die, you won't be there to take care of someone else. Right.
Right.
When we don't take care of ourselves,
Hmm.
even not just physically, but very so much emotionally. If I'm emotionally drained, depleted, stressed out, I cannot be present with my children. I cannot serve them and love them
Uh,
well and engage with them from a healthy place. Often what happens, even we don't take care of ourselves,
mhm.
of our own self-love or own, personal development, we end up like being snapping on people, right? Then we're affecting those relationships, it's back and forth. They're affecting us, then we get to start affecting them, and then nobody's having a good time and everybody's
Mhm.
emotionally unhealthy, right? And so once we start taking care of ourselves,
Absolutely.
it makes a big difference. Then we start literally taking care of everybody else because we're taking care of others from a cup that's full, not from an empty vessel, right? So we need to replenish ourselves and
Right.
have the energy to face whatever's coming at us, whatever we have to deal with in life, and in doing so, we serve well, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's all from a place of love when
Hmm.
we're doing that, rather than a place of, um, maybe commitment or resentment or
Mm,
obligation or something like that, instead
yeah.
of a place of love. And when we're working with it from a place of love, it just comes out naturally.
Yes.
And But if we're not loving ourselves, then we can't. It's much, much harder to
Mm-hmm.
love somebody unconditionally and give them love in whatever way they need it
Mm-hmm.
if we're not loving ourselves first.
Yeah, yeah. And you touched on some of the things that, I wanted, to ask you about, like, the connection between self-love and health relationships. And you even say what happens when we don't have that self-love, impacts all our relationship because we don't know, we have nothing to give. And what we have to give is not healthy because we're not at a healthy place ourselves. Yeah. And, and
Right.
you say a lot of us been brought up with, thinking that we have to please everyone, thinking that we have to say yes to everything. And we realize,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, we start doing it out of resentment. And
Yes.
nobody, honestly, nobody likes a grumpy helper. That's what I often say. I say, even God likes a cheerful giver, So if you're coming to help someone, come
Right.
fully present, like emotionally, spiritually, physically, like your whole self is there to
Yes.
help because you're doing it out of love. And like you said, when you do it, it just flows naturally. Like, sometimes people ask me, oh, how do you, like, I'll be doing this, like, recording these interviews. And then after that, maybe I might be with a client. And then I still have to run to my own doctor's appointment and take care of my kids. Like, how do you do all of that? Well,
Right.
when I start serving out of love, it doesn't feel like work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it just
Exactly.
naturally flows out of me. These things that I do, that seems like a lot, literally, refuels me, if you want, right? Because I'm serving out
Right.
of love. It's not something I must do, something that I gotta do, or something that if I don't do it, people don't like me. If I don't do it, no, I do it because I love to do it and I want to do it. Then you get, honestly, almost a supernatural strength because it doesn't feel, even when I'm weak, I'm like, this gives me strength. Like, I just get stronger as I do this. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's so important to start serving out of love, not out of obligation, not
Right.
out of commitment, and only commit
Mm-hmm.
yourself to those things and those people, that you love. And if you're not there yet, work on it. Right? I rather someone
Exactly.
tell me no, I cannot help you, than say yes, I'll help you. And then when they get here, they have this, I don't know, frown on their face, and they're snapping at me every 5 seconds. They're like, the face is red. They don't want to talk to me because they feel like, oh, I have to help her because she needs help. No, like, please
Right.
don't show up, right? Or these
Yeah,
people so
exactly.
fully come. Nobody likes a grumpy helper. I'll say that again.
No, I love that phrase. I'm gonna use that phrase.
Oh,
Don't be
you
a grumpy helper. Oh my gosh, because then
exactly.
you feel like it's almost like then they're being a martyr, you know.
Mm, mm,
And so, like, just know your boundaries.
yes.
I think boundaries are so important.
Yeah.
Um, and as long as you know what you want to do, are capable of doing, time wise or energy wise or physically, mentally, whatever, emotionally, do what you can, obviously, but don't feel like you have to do it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us just grew up like that. We just felt like we just had to do it.
Mhm.
And instead of that, we want to do it. And when
Mhm.
you want to do it, it's so much nicer for everyone.
Yeah, and it's actually fun.
Yeah,
Like, you actually
exactly.
enjoy
Yeah.
doing it. It's not. It doesn't feel like a
Right.
chore. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and you touched on, the whole self-love, because I want to just go back on there and, like, I guess dig a little deeper if you want. So,
Mhm.
even from getting to, wanting to please people and doing things out of commitment or out of obligation, often it's because we don't know who we are. And like you said,
Right.
once you know who you are, what you can do, what, time wise, physically, emotionally, what you can, exchange with others or give to others, then you can do it,
Mhm.
better and well. So then I want to touch on that. So for those people who might be kind of struggling there, let's talk a little bit about that self-love. Like, how do they get to knowing who they are? How do they get to, start loving themselves? Because I think self-awareness is the first step to self-love.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause,
Well, and that you're right. And for my experience, I didn't know who I was.
mm,
So you're just talking about that.
mhm,
Before I got into coaching, I felt like I was a little bit of this person, a little bit of this person, and this person, and this person, and because I felt obligated to help that person, do that something for that person. I have to do that because I'm this or whatever. And I didn't know who I was. And so that is the first step.
Mhm.
And so what happened to me was it broke. It's like I just got to the end and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to help people not have to get to that point,
Mhm.
you know? Um, so I teach them self-love exercises, ways of, even like starting very small things little by little, because if you don't know who you are, you don't know where to start either.
Mhm.
And if you're given too big of a task, then it feels like a task instead of something that's just for yourself. So, I
Mhm.
mean, even something like even writing down in a journal,
Mhm.
what are the things that you really do love?
Mhm.
What do I love? And what do I love to do? How do I love to be?
Mhm.
Those are sometimes even hard questions to ask yourself. Like, I didn't even know what I like to do.
Mhm.
I had no idea what I like to do. I had to actually think about, I had no hobbies. All I did was
Mhm.
work and, take care of kids, which I'm sure a lot of women do.
Mhm.
Um, and so, but I didn't know what I even like to do. I had to really think about going back when I was a child and say, okay, what did I like to do when I was a kid?
Mhm.
You know? Um, and I decided, oh, I always wanted to ride horses, but my mom wouldn't let me because
Mhm.
she thought I was going to fall off and hurt myself.
Mhm.
So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna find somewhere where I can ride a horse, and
Mhm.
I love riding horses now.
So,
And I've gone to other cities and found a ranch so that I can ride
wow.
a horse there, and just fun stuff like that, right? So you could start by that, writing a list of things that you love to do, and you might find something there. There might be a pattern. There might be something. Maybe you like to draw. Even you don't have to do it professionally. You don't have to do it. Just find a class or just draw at home or anything creative
Mhm.
would help you, will get you out of your head of all the things that you are doing for other people.
Mhm.
And even if it's just 5 minutes a day, you could, every morning, what's your morning routine like? Do you get up? Do you hit the snooze 4 or 5 times? Or do you actually, get up?
Yeah. Yeah.
um, do you, are you meditating? Are you
Mhm.
praying? What is it that you're taking time for yourself to actually ground yourself or actually get out of your head, you
Mhm.
know? Because I think that we're constantly in our head.
Mhm.
So those are just things, just a couple things. There's many, many things that I talk to women about that, helping them to find that one thing or two things that they could do. Are they out in nature? Do they go for a walk?
Mhm.
Um, are they playing with their pets? Um, you know, there's so many things that we could do just for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, all the things that you shared kind of goes into, and like, if I could summarize, it would be, adding more enjoyment in your life,
Yes,
because most time when we're
absolutely.
doing those things out of commitment, out of obligation, it sucks the life out of us, for lack of a better term. Right? So then, it
Right,
sounds like what you're helping women do is, add more enjoyment to life, for things that they want to do for themselves, things that make them feel grounded, things that make them feel happy, and things that help them go on that, self-discovery journey, if you want, the journey to discover who they are, and then what they
right.
want out of life. And that's so important, because
Hmm.
until we figure that out, then we're literally just serving from these empty vessels for, and then we're not only empty vessel, but we're also serving from this unhappy and frustrated spot, and that's
Right.
everybody feeding off of it, right? And then we're feeding off of everybody else,
Yeah.
because most likely the people we're connecting with are doing the exact same thing, and then life is just miserable. That's not fun. It's fun.
Exactly.
It's
Right.
not fun for anyone. So yeah.
Right. Well, it was no. it was interesting because I was just how or I figured out was I was just existing,
Mm,
and I wasn't living,
mm,
and I wasn't even paying attention to the small things.
yeah,
Like, when you drive to work, you know how you drive to work and all of a sudden you're there and you're like, or you
yeah,
drive somewhere and you're all of a sudden
yeah.
you're
How
there
did
and
I
you
get
forget,
here?
you
Yeah.
didn't know how to get there,
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not paying attention to, the beautiful trees, the birds, listening to the birds. I mean, silly little things that you think, well, okay, but we take all those things for granted.
Yeah.
And we have a beautiful earth here, and we're only here for a set amount of time, and it
Mm,
can change in a second.
yeah. Yeah.
And just being grateful for what we have, that's another way that you can have self-love, is being
Mm-hmm.
grateful for the things that we have. I mean, I definitely was just sleepwalking. I
Yeah.
call it sleepwalking, sleepwalking through life. And you'll start noticing different things. And also, if you believe in a higher power, also listening,
Mm,
taking that time to listen, because you'll get some clues, you'll get some signs, if you're paying attention.
yeah. Yeah.
But if you're sleepwalking, or you're just existing, or you're just going through life, the mundane, same thing every single day,
Mm,
changing it up, changing just the way you drive to a certain place that you go to all the time, you might see something different.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
might notice something different. You might run into somebody different.
Mm,
Talking to people, you go to the grocery store, you go wherever you go, and actually communicating with people,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
taking that time to ask someone, "How are you doing?" But like really asking the question of, "How are you doing today?" instead of, "How you doing?" "I'm fine. I'm good. Fine. I'm
Mm,
good," or whatever, and are you really?
mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know? So
Like
lots of
really.
things that we do that could be different. Just changing it up a little bit. It'll change the frequency for you.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Oh, so true. Yeah. And it helps us connect at a deeper level with people.
Right.
Yeah. So
A-
let's touch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's touch a little bit before we, kind of bring this to a close here, touch a little bit on, you know, the Liz of before. Like you said, you were just, existing, you're kind of sleepwalking through life and missing out on everything that was around you and not even realizing how you got places because you just went through the motions, if you want. And then how that impacted relations back then, let's, I guess, forward to now. Like now the Liz who has found herself, know who she is and loves herself, and now remarried with her ex-husband.
Mhm.
How's that, even from you knowing who you are and and loving yourself and being more intentional about your own self-love and self-care, how's that impacted your relationship? And I'm sure, even just your marriage now, again, if it's the same person, how's that changed, once you discover who you were?
Right. Well, it's interesting because when we got remarried, I still didn't know who I was. Um, but and we've had ups and downs, just like every marriage, right? Well, when you do it twice, you have those that you had before,
Mm-hmm.
and then you still have new ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but since I've, you know, done my all this personal development work, I'm just calmer.
Mm,
I think that's, the best way to describe it is
yeah.
I just feel lighter and calmer. I feel just I'm not worried as much. I
Mm,
used to worry about everything.
mm,
And now I'm, that saying, it is what it is.
mm-hmm.
It's true. It really is true. It's like, okay, I can handle anything now. I feel like
Mm,
I can handle anything and whatever is thrown at me, because I am more settled, more grounded, more um I just feel better. I just
mm,
feel happier.
yeah.
Um not much bothers me anymore.
Mm, mm,
And also, if something does happen to me, you know, I'm more okay with the outcome. Whatever the outcome is going to be, I'm not worried about trying to foresee the outcome.
mm.
Like, everything will work out. There's always something better coming,
Yeah.
and there's always a reason that something will happen,
Mm,
because we have to go down maybe one road to get to the next one,
mhm.
to the better one. So I just feel happier, lighter, not worried. I'm not anxious as
Mm,
much,
mm.
things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can so echo that. So yes, when you you know, focus, on taking care of yourself from the inside out, and as
Right.
I'll often say, reinventing yourself from the inside out, then you get to that place, like you say, you're calmer, there's more peace, there's, less stress, and,
Mhm.
life is just happier. You're happier, then things will happen. Life, life on earth is not perfect, but even when things happen, then like you said, I can take this.
Right.
I can deal with this. This is not the end of me. Life goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Right.
you only get to that place when you literally work on yourself. You work on who you are from the inside out. So yeah,
Right.
thanks for sharing those all those nuggets there. Now, how does it briefly, like, how does the new you, if you want the stronger you, how all of that affected your marriage now?
Oh, okay. So, well, he's happier too because I'm happier.
Mm.
I mean,
Positive
he always
energy
said,
all around.
right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and if he is not in the same place as me, I can handle it better
Mm,
because I'm not reacting to something that he might be saying or doing or
mm,
whatever. And that's all that I used to do was, used to be go back and forth and back and forth. And when one person is more self-developed than the other one, you're still going to have the other one having, reactions. You're still going to have, you're going to be
mm.
growing right together,
Yes. Yeah.
but you're still at different places.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's not like one's better than the other. It's just that they're just at different spots,
Yeah.
you know. So being more gentle with what is happening with the other person, and that goes the other way too. I mean, I have my times, right? I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
I have my moments.
Yeah.
So him being growing as well, he can help me with something that I might be going through, and he might remind me of something.
Mm,
So it's working together. When you're working together at the same time on your personal development,
mm-hmm.
it's a much more beautiful thing. So if you can have both of you work at the same time, that's fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just helps you be um, in a better relationship. It just helps you communicate better. It helps you love each other more and in a more genuine way.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and you nailed it there. It's because I think people say this all the time. Marriage or any relationship, and friendship, it's two working people getting together. And we all
Hmm.
have things to work on. But unless we both work on those things, we're never gonna get to a healthy place, right? So
Right.
it's so even for us, this maybe even short-term partnership here for us to do this interview together and collaborate. We all bring ourselves to the table, all of us. Sometimes I think, oh,
Right.
I'll just put this facade in this relationship. I'll put this facade at work. I'll put this facade with my kids. You don't realize the over parts of the us that we're trying to hide will still seep through somehow.
Oh,
Someday,
of
somehow,
course.
it's all going to come out. So it's good then when we're, like you said, genuine with who we are, and then trying to genuinely work on those relationships, and starting with ourselves. If I'm working on myself, then, next person is working themselves, then together we get stronger and we make a healthier relationship, no matter what kind of
Right.
relationship it is.
Yeah. And if you can just be more your authentic you,
Mm,
then and if everyone could just be authentic and be real, I
Yeah.
think that the relationships would just be perfect.
Yes. Yeah. It changes everything. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
that. So, what are
Mhm.
you working on right now, and how can people connect with you?
Well, I'm working on group coaching, and I'm going to be doing. I do group coaching here in my community,
Okay.
um, but I'm working on doing online coaching.
Mhm.
So I want to do. I'd like to do group online coaching. So more of. I just love the energy of group because it's you collaborate more, and I love collaboration. So I think it's just helping each other, feeding off each other, and
Mhm.
um, so that's what I'm working on.
Okay.
And you can reach me at my website, and you'll find my phone number there, and you'll find my email address there, and all that. But my website is lizteescoaching.com.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're going to put um,
Yes.
my name. Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll
it's
I'll
just
do that. I'll put the link there so people can just click on it. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, group, it's good.
yeah, that's
It's
great.
I love group work in general. Because although, like, for as I'm a life coach and a counselor, and I know I can do individual session with people and I see them grow.
Right,
But it's good when people actually learn with peers. In education, we all have this thing about, social learning. Like, we learn best when with others who are also learning on the same journey with
right,
us. So you can still have that
hmm
mentor, you can still have, someone leading the way, but
right,
if you have your pack of support or your peers, your tribe, doing the
hmm
work with you and walking that journey with you, you go much farther. So yeah, so I love that
absolutely.
you're offering that. So I will put the link on there for anyone looking to work on the self-love. And yeah, click there and connect with Liz. And as you just shared, she has a lot of personal experience and professional experience and training to help you, discover who you are and start loving on yourself so that you can love on others from a more authentic and genuine way. Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
thank
Thanks for being
you.
here. This was great.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.